Hi, thank you so much for taking time out of your day and probably your busy schedule to hear us share some of our Arbonne story with you. So to get started, we're going to talk a little bit about Bree's health journey with the 30-day challenge. So Bree, what was your health like before you did the 30-day challenge?
It was not great. I was eating a lot of fast food and super simple meals because I was a new grad and broke and living at like my parents' house, my boyfriend's house, wherever I was. So I just ate whatever was available. So it was pretty bad, and I was at probably the highest weight I had ever been in my life. And I was like, well, it'll all get better once I start working and have a schedule. But that didn't happen. It just got worse.
So I think that we've all been there before. We've all been just eating whatever we can get our hands on to get by or to fit into our busy schedule. What was your first exposure to the Arbonne 30-day challenge? How did you first hear about it?
That would be you.
Oh.
So I heard about it, of course, after you had done the 30 days. And at first I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, you like protein shakes. I don't like protein shakes. And then just kind of watching your story, of course, and then some other, like your mom that did it and stuff. And I was like, well, maybe I could try it, and I should probably support my friend. That's the nice thing to do. And so that's where it started.
Awesome. When you first started, did you have any hesitations, or when I first asked you, were you kind of like, oh, I don't know about that? If so, can you share those with us?
Yeah, at first, well, of course, like I said, I was just starting out in my career, and so I was like, I don't have time for that. Like, I've got a lot going on. I'm working 12-hour shifts. I can't like make protein shakes while I'm at work. And then the other issue was, of course, the money aspect. The 30-day is like a big chunk up front, and so in my brain, I was like, I can't afford that. Like, that's not worth it. And then once you broke it down for me and the price points, and then I kind of did my little calculations over time on how much I spend on Starbucks and snacks at work every day, I was like, okay, I could probably afford it.
So you kind of overcame some of those hesitations by breaking it down and looking at what the price is over the 30 days rather than that first chunk.
Yeah, so I kind of looked into like how much I spent on groceries each week versus how much I picked up dinner, or like I said, breakfast and a coffee at work. You know, it was like $5 a day, and in my head, that wasn't very much, but when you break it down, that is over a course of 30 days. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, definitely. And what about the schedule conflicts? I heard you say that you were busy, obviously, starting out 12-hour shifts as a nurse. How did you end up working the 30 days into that kind of a schedule?
So for me, the hard part was when I would work my 12-hour shifts, like taking all of the products, I guess, with me. I was like, oh, this is a lot. But then, like I said, I wasn't buying lunch, so I was saving money that way. And so I would just pre-package everything the night before. So I would put 2 scoops of protein in a cup and put it in my bag. And then I would take like a little snack bag of nuts or a green apple. And then in the morning, I would just have my like everything in my fridge in one spot, so I could just grab it and make my shake. And then I drank my shake on the way to work, which saved time because then I had to take a breakfast break.
There you go. So lots of planning kind of helped you see that,
yeah.
Oh, this does work and I can fit it into my schedule, yeah, as long as you had it planned out beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm most excited to hear about is, what did the 30-day challenge do for you?
For me, it gave me more energy. I think energy was probably the number one thing that I realized, like not eating crappy food all the time and how bad it makes you feel. I didn't really know that what I was eating made me feel so tired all the time, or not be able to sleep at night and stuff. And so those were like the 2 things that I noticed the most. Was I could sleep through an entire night without waking up in the middle of the night, or waking up with like that hangover feeling in the morning. And then just my energy throughout the day, especially while I was at work. Like, I would do a fizz in the afternoon to kind of boost my energy at 2, and it actually worked, versus drinking like an energy drink that I would just crash later. And then of course my weight loss. I think the first time I did it, I lost somewhere between 10 to 12 pounds, but I had also lost like 4 inches off my waist, which was a big deal. And then just learning how to cook healthier and like better choices. I mean, I might not have followed it exactly the full 30 days the first time, but it just showed me like, okay, like if I go to a restaurant, I can still eat a meal and not feel guilty about it, because everywhere has choices. You just have to put the choices together for your plate. So I think that just learning the lifestyle of how to eat healthy and realizing like what I'm putting in my body is what my body is going to give back to me was like one of the biggest things I learned through it.
Wow, that's awesome. So the products and the program helped you learn how to have a sustainably healthy lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So the first 30 days, you think you lost about 10 to 12 pounds. How much weight overall? Because I think after the first 30 days, you lived kind of like an 80-20 lifestyle. We call it like 80% healthy living, and then 20% is just life sometimes, right? And so you lived that. So what was your total weight loss over the course of your health journey?
So that very first time doing the 30 day was, like I said, 10 to 12 pounds. And then after that, I think I did like the 80-20 lifestyle for, I would say, almost the rest of the year. And then I did the challenge again at the end of the year, like after the holidays, because obviously I was living like the 40-60 lifestyle at that point. And so I did it at the end of the holidays, and just kind of did a reset, and I had plateaued weight loss wise, and I lost another 10 on that. And so total with the 80-20 lifestyle and doing the challenge, like the 2 times, I've been about almost 50 pounds. It's like 48.5 right now. But so just living, like learning the cues from the challenge and taking them into my everyday life since that 2 years ago when I started, has been a total of almost 50.
Awesome. And then I know that you and your husband just recently did the 30-day challenge again together. And I think it's so cool that, like you were saying, like you went through the holidays, you made 40% healthy choices through the holidays. I think that I've done that. I mean, what I love about the Arbonne program and the products is we have the tools to get back on track whenever we decide that we're ready to. Like, we can have the products, and we have the recipes, and we have the knowledge to be able to start making those healthy choices again.
So it's simpler now, because obviously when I first started, I was like, this is a whole new world for me. I don't understand, like, what is clean eating? What is this? Why do I have to cut this out? But then after doing it, like you said, like going from shoving my face of desserts and cookies and stuff to like, okay, it's January, get your crap together. And I was like, oh, and I just went back to what I'd been doing before, and then I'm back to myself.
Yeah, back to feeling good too. And I know that your husband had some really good results from doing the 30-day too.
Yes, so we just did the 30-day last month, and he was really skeptical, but I was like, I promise, like, you're gonna live, you're gonna be able to eat, because a lot of people, especially in his world, it's like, I have to eat meat and potatoes every meal. And so having him switch over was a culture shock, but he said that he's had more energy than he's ever had, and that's kind of a big deal. He started working out, which I don't think I've seen him go to a gym like in the 6 years we've been together. So it didn't only give him motivation to keep doing it, but it gave him motivation to get overall healthy, which I think is a big issue for people. Like, they can eat all they want, but they don't have the motivation to get physically active, and that the extra energy he had, he would come home from working 10 hours and go to the gym, and then felt even better when he got home from the gym. So that was really cool. I think he lost a total of 10 pounds as well, and like 3 inches off his waist, which, I mean, you've noticed, like a lot of people, even at work, people I've never met, he's like, hey, so-and-so told me I look good today. And he gets them that little confidence boost, which is really cool. So he liked it, and he still does smoothies every day now.
That's amazing. I love it. And I love that it's something that you guys were eventually able to do together.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That was fun, having an accountability partner. It really makes it easier.
Yeah, definitely. When you can talk to somebody about the ups and downs and the challenges and the wins, that's awesome. So let's kind of shift gears and talk a little bit about the business opportunity that Arbonne is. When were you first exposed to that, and kind of talk about what your first thoughts were and your hesitations maybe?
So after I did the challenge, you had asked me if I would consider being part of the business side of Arbonne, and I was like, no, I'm good. I was working 2 jobs. I was working like over, I think, almost 60 hours a week, and I was like, I can't fit that in my schedule. I'm not someone that can like sell to other people. Like, I don't like it. I don't want to do it. And so I think, 2 years? So since my first challenge. And then this past like end of the year, when I redid the challenge for like the 3rd time, is when people at work would ask me like, oh, what are you drinking? What are you eating? Like, oh, that meal looks good. Like, what is that? And I would talk about it. And then people would be like, oh, well, what is Arbonne? Like, why are you doing it? And then I would tell them my story, and they're like, there's no way, like, that's not real. Like, you didn't have 50 pounds on before. And I was like, no, I promise. Like, I have a picture, I can show you. And so I kind of realized, like, if I can just talk to people about it and they get curious, like, that's kind of like what happened with me. Like, I watched you and your mom, and then I was curious, and I was like, oh, well, I can do this. Like, why not? And then just in my life, like being in healthcare, I guess it's hard because I get people when they're sick already. And so I kind of lacked the fulfillment of, I don't know, like I just was kind of drained from my job, I guess. And I was like, I need something new to fulfill me. And so this is like that new thing that fulfills me. Like I can share hope because of the things that I've been through with Arbonne for someone else. And even if they don't want the products, like I can still tell them my journey and like give them hope, like, okay, well, if she can do it, maybe I can do it. So that's kind of what flipped it for me.
Awesome, I love that. And I know that you've already mentioned that you're a nurse, and that is a very demanding job.
Just a little.
And I know that was, has been a big passion of yours to be a nurse and to be able to help people in that way. But just from my perspective, I think that one of your biggest passions is just helping people.
Yeah.
And however that comes about into your life. And so a shift that I saw over the 2 years, from me asking and her saying no to her contacting me and saying, I think I want to do this, was I just saw, a lot of confidence and a lot of passion about I know how to live this healthy lifestyle, and I want to be able to help other people have hope, and so for their health especially. And so now talk a little bit about what hope you're building for yourself, about what Arbonne can provide for your future.
So for me, like she was saying, I like to do, like, I just want to help people. Like, it wasn't a business scheme in my mind. Like, when I signed up to do it, I just wanted to, like, be able to share with other people that there are things out there that can get you jump started on your, like, health journey like it did for me. And then after getting into it, one of the big things about Arbonne is a community. So it's very uplifting and powerful. And so it's kind of fun, like, listening to all these girls and guys tell their stories and their success stories, and you're like, wow, I want to do that. It's like you're a little kid, like, oh, that's cool, I want to do that too. And so I really like that aspect of it. And then I don't want to do bedside nursing for the rest of my life. Like, I already know that. Like, I don't, being there for 12 hours, especially like right now during all this crisis stuff, is a lot. And so it gives me the opportunity that maybe one day I can kind of step back from that, like go part-time or PRN, and I have something that's there to replace that time in my life and like replace that income. And it's still giving me the power to help people. It's just a lot less stressful and physical demanding. And then also just if we were to have kids in the future, just that time that I could like stay at home with my little kid and be like, hold on, let me text someone real quick and like do my job and then let's play, instead of being gone for 12 hours a day.
That's awesome. So what I'm hearing really is it's giving you choice about your future. Whereas, if you had gone the traditional route to be a nurse for the rest of your life and you never looked for alternative opportunities, you would be, even whenever you have kids, it would be very hard for you to step away from that because you would be tied to the income that is tied to your time. And so what I'm hearing is that Arbonne has just given you alternative choices to be able to say, wow, maybe it would be possible for me to stay home with my kids, or maybe it would be possible for me to only work PRN if, as needed at the hospital or things like that. So that is so cool. And I think, guys, that's something that a lot of us struggle with, is these limiting beliefs that there's only one way to have a career and there's only one way to make money. And there are alternatives out there that can give us choices. And I think that's something that a lot of us have realized in Arbonne. None of us, Bree talked about being that little kid and, seeing those people's success stories and saying like, oh my gosh, I want to be that. I don't think as kids, many of us knew, I didn't know what Arbonne was until 2 years ago. So none of us knew what Arbonne was. and that wasn't something that was on our radar, like, oh, my dream is to be in Arbonne. I still wouldn't say that my dream is Arbonne, but I do believe that Arbonne is a huge vehicle to help a lot of my dreams come true. One of those dreams is being able to stay at home with my kids if I choose to, and I hear that the same's for you, right?
Like just having the option to be able to stay at home, or if something's going on with a family member, like I can go be with them but still do my job at the same time. Like it's just the time freedom is really, like everyone wants more time, so it's kind of perfect.
Yeah, so not having our time directly tied to our finances, right? So like I can travel and still work, I can stay home with my kids and still work. I can make money in different ways than just the traditional way. So guys, I want to challenge all of y'all to think about some of those same questions. If you continue doing what you're doing today for the next 5 years, well, where will you be? Will you have more time freedom? Will you have more financial freedom? Will you still be stuck in that rat race? And if so, is that what you want? For some of you, the answer may be yes. But if you're one of those people that the answer is, I don't want to be doing this same thing for the next 5 to 10 years and be exactly where I am today, we would love to talk to you more about, sorry, there goes my dog. She's probably going to go barking. Real life, but we would love to talk to y'all more about what this opportunity is. We've heard a little bit about Bree's story and how much it has changed her life, and we know that this is possible for anybody that has a passion to help others and help themselves. So if you want to learn, we're here to answer all the questions, and we just appreciate you guys so much taking time out of your day, and we look forward to talking to y'all soon.